Let it go. Let it be. Let it roll.
Thank you all for being with us this evening. I always like to start the show by saying hello, which means we all are. In my culture, the Dene language, Ya at E, universe we are. We also say hello that way too. So Ya at E, everyone. Welcome to Indigenous Ways Wisdom Circle this evening. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I cannot even begin to tell you how exciting this is to have the one and only Dana Tiger. See that shirt she's got? You see the very top of it, Warrior Women? That's her art. I mean, she does exquisite artwork. And Dana has taken painting to another level that would make her father, Jerome, so proud, and her mother. And of course, her family's here with us tonight as well, some Mvskoke tribal members. Thank you all for being with us. Before we get started, I'd like to take this time to acknowledge the traditional owners and ancestors of the tribal lands Ogapoge Owinge, also known as Santa Fe. Thank you all for having us on your land. And we also want to give a big shout out to this month. This month is Women's Herstory Month. So happy Women's Herstory Month. We are honored tonight, to say the least. Besides being Mvskoke, also known as Creek, an artist of Seminole and Cherokee heritage, Dana is widely acclaimed for her evocative depictions of Native women. Her impactful work has earned her a place in the Oklahoma Women's Hall of Fame. And I believe her sister Lisa Tiger has a question for her about this at the end of the show. Dana has inspired audiences from all walks of life, not only across the nation, but around the world. I cannot say enough about Dana. All right, Dana, thank you for being with us. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I am, 63 years old, and everybody thinks it was my birthday the other day, but I was just thinking I was looking so good that I put on Facebook that I was 63, and so everybody wished me happy birthday. But Lisa said I'm 64, but I don't know for sure. I was born in 61. But anyway, I grew up in Mvskoke, Oklahoma. And that's also our tribal land base, our reservation, Mvskoke people. And we have lived here all our lives, me, Lisa, and our brother Chris, and lived in this house that we're in right now out on 30 acres that we moved out to when I was in the 5th grade. And here I am back again with my husband and children and grandchild and nephew, all here taking care of business, taking care of the place for Lisa and Cricket and all of us.
So you say Mvskoke, and I've seen the way Mvskoke with the international phonetics is written, and there's no way I would possibly be able to say that word the way it's written with the international phonetics. So does your tribe have their own language, and is it written?
We have our own language, but it wasn't written at first. But we have got our alphabet that, like Mvskoke is spelled. There's several ways that it's spelled, but Mvskoke, Mvskoke. But we live in the town of Mvskoke, and it's spelled Muskoge. And then our tribe is the Mvskoke Nation, Muskoge. So there's 3 ways right there that it's spelled.
So is the Mvskoke?
Us.
Yeah, I know you claim Mvskoke, but you have you've got Seminole and Cherokee. And how does that work? Just give us a basic idea of how all this tribal affiliation works. And you only claim one as a tribal
Well,
member, or how does that
yeah.
work?
Well, I'm a tribal member of the Mvskoke Nation. My mother was a tribal member of the Cherokee Nation. Dad was a full-blood Creek Seminole because his dad was Seminole, and Grandma and Grandpa were. Grandma was Creek Muskogee, and Grandpa was Seminole, and so Dad was half Creek Seminole. And you can only, according to tribal ways, you can only choose one tribe to be registered with. So, like my husband and my son are registered Cherokee, and my daughter and myself are registered Muskogee. So, and we live on Cherokee Nation land, but our gallery is on Mvskoke Nation land, and they're 5 miles apart or so, kind of as the crow flies.
So in Oklahoma, that is a amazing state that's completely rich with indigenous cultures. Are you able to tell us how many tribes are in that state? Because I know there's more than Muskogee and Seminole and Cherokees.
Oh yeah, there's many tribes. I'm not able to tell you just how many, but there's many. And my nephew Michael, well, he's from Pine Ridge, but that's not Oklahoma tribe. But we have Osage and Cheyenne and Choctaw, Chickasaw. Just so many tribes with their tribal land bases here in Oklahoma. So we're one of many.
And Lisa, your sister wants to ask, how did you get the title Strong and Sexy Indian or something like that?
Are you going to bring that up this quick? Oh my God, I thought that
I
was.
just got a text, an answer needed here. How did you get that title?
Okay, so there is, sometimes I feel kind of humorous or crazy or whatever. So I all of the above probably. And so there was this one day that I took this picture of myself in this dress that was really too tight to be wearing. And I was kicked back taking this picture of myself, and I will kill her if she shows it, because don't do it, Lisa. But anyway, so I'm kicked back, and then I put it on Facebook, and I said, I don't remember this, but I think she says I said strong and sexy myself. But I hope I didn't do it, but there is a possibility that I did say it. But then I took it down real quick, because after I guess came to my senses and thought about the picture and looked at the picture, I thought, what in the heck was I thinking? Took it down, and then everybody who ever saw the picture just got a big old fat kick out of it. And actually, it looks more like a woman who's been drinking all night in the bar and was getting ready to fight anybody who wanted to mess with her. But
that is hilarious. That is hilarious. I wouldn't mess with no Oklahoma Indians. Let me tell you, y'all come through Santa Fe a lot, and just even the way you hold yourself, there's just a certain Oklahomaness about all the Indians I met in Santa Fe, like tons in all my years and decades in Santa Fe. I've met so many Oklahoma Indians at the Institute of American Indian Arts, all different tribes, and each one is just incredibly holds their own in such a Oklahoma Indian kind of way. And I just love your dialect and your vernacular. It's very unique. You know what I mean? Like how each tribe has kind of their own, but something about the Oklahoma, it's just cool. I admire you, all of you. I just admire all of you. So on to the actual questions I'm supposed to ask you.
yeah.
Okay, let's go to that. How did you get interested in art, and what's been your watershed moment and most inspiring source of information? So that's like 3 in 1 right there. So how did you get into the art?
Okay, when I forget the other two, but I've already forgotten the questions. But my brain. But anyway, I know you want to know how. Okay, say the question again.
Yeah, first, let me do one at a time. So, how did you get into art? Let's start with that.
Okay, my father was one of the greatest artists that there was, and mom and dad met in the early 60s, like, or maybe 1959. But he was a gifted artist, and he had asked her to marry him after they hung out for, I don't know, maybe a year or so. And he said, "I can take care of you because I have $1 million hand." And he wasn't lying, because he could draw anything and he was able to create a whole style of Indian art that no one had ever seen before in the Indian art world. So, as you may or may not know, Lisa and I and my brother lost our father when I was 5, Lisa was 2, and Chris was just 2 weeks old. So my mother, was there with us, having to raise 3 kids, but she and dad had supported us with his art, while he was living, and we wanted for nothing. We had everything we needed, and then he was taken from us, but his art lived on, in part because my mother took it and made it the art, our business, our family business, Jerome Tiger Art Company. So us kids, we grew up surrounded by his art, with his art being what everyone talked about and the world bought, and we were able to survive and thrive because of what my mother creating the art company and my dad's genius. So I grew up with art in my life, and then when dad died, he we were, as children, made to do art by my uncle. My uncle, dad's older brother, stepped in and helped raise us after my father passed, and he insisted that we all do art. So as children, Lisa, Chris, and I did drawings and paintings and entered art shows all over the place and won. And they didn't make me want to become an artist. In fact, I fought it for a long time, but the way life goes, you might try to travel different ways, but things happen where you can come back to your true path that you're supposed to walk in, and that's what I did. There's a lot of build up stories leading up to that, but I did. When I was 24, I made a decision to try to be paint and draw for a year to see what would happen, and then I never quit after that. I continued to draw and paint as my way of taking care of myself and eventually my family from that day, when I turned 24, sometime in the 80s, and haven't quit since. So.
Well, it sounds like because from what I know about being in Santa Fe and lots of IAIA experiences, there's a lot of talented natives out there that can do sculptures and paintings and jewelry like nobody's business. I mean, give them a handful of pennies that are rusted and going nowhere, and give it to an Indian. They'll make some kind of art out of it that'll just end up winning the Indian market stuff. Just Indians are so creative. But another big part that comes with that talent is the marketing part, the business part. So it sounds like your mom had that business savviness that was maybe established for you to kind of have a foundation to exhibit your art and have kind of like something to go on in terms of like, because you make a lot of artwork, but it needs to go somewhere. It needs to get out there. So art shows and all that kind of stuff needs to happen, and vending and powwows and stuff like that. Was that a whole nother part of it that you had to learn? Because you're making art and you're great at it, but how do you get it out there into the world, especially in the 80s?
Yeah, due to Mom's ability to create that company, we grew up having the art all around us, and then her selling the art, and me seeing that, growing up. I wanted to be a lawyer. I was going to go to college and try to be a lawyer, but that didn't pan out, but for various reasons. But I did come back to the art because that was flowing, I guess, flowing through my veins and blood, and so that I needed something to take me off the road that I was going, which wasn't the road to prosperity or good fortune or health. And so art took me from the wrong ways of my life to a way that I could prosper. And it was hard, but I got to travel with my uncle, Johnny Tiger Jr. He would go to shows and he'd take us to shows, and we'd travel to Colorado Indian Market, and we'd have booths, and it was hard, because showing yourself and what you've created from within, laying it out there, and people coming by and looking at it. I don't know, it just made me feel not embarrassed, but shy and not really wanting people to like it, but not. It was like, I've described it as like being a turtle without a shell, just all vulnerable. And so that went on for a long time. And then, I don't know, the more you do something, and if you get good at it and you practice and you keep at it and determination and just keep practicing, then you get better. And then you don't feel so, exposed, I guess. But it's easier to let people look at what you've created. And then when they want to buy it, that is even amazing. That's even much, much, much better.
Oh, that's wonderful. Gosh, that's so inspiring. So do you have a watershed moment, or just a whole bunch of watershed moments that really went, man, I can do
Yeah.
this?
Well, I guess there's a lot of watershed moments. Like, for instance, when I painted this painting that I've got on, it was early 90s. And I had never sold a painting for, over $1,000. And I was at a show. I was doing a presentation in Oklahoma City, and did this presentation for what was called the Elder Hostel. And, I guess educators or elders travel across the country and go to various places. And a man, after my presentation, which all I did was, I talk about my family everywhere I go. That's, all I want to talk about. And so I told him the story of our lives and the art and everything, kind of like I'm doing tonight. And this man got up. I don't know who he is or where. I think he was from North Carolina. But he said, "Do you have any originals for sale?" And I said, "Well, I've got this painting. It was this one. It's a great big painting that I had done, and it was back at the booth because I had a show at Red Earth, Oklahoma City at the time." And he says, "How much is it?" And I said, "Well, it's more than anything I've ever asked for a painting, because it's I think it's the best thing I've ever done." And he says, "Well, how much?" And so I told him it was $2,000, and he wrote me a check. He did not even see the painting. He did not see the painting, but he wrote me a check for the painting, and it was this painting. So that was amazing. And then the next thing that pops into my mind is when my grandson turned 4 years old, which was 4 years ago. We spent the day together, which was April 30th, 4 years ago. And I hadn't been painting for a while. I was like stuck or stifled or didn't feel like painting. Because, you can go into feeling like that, get where you just don't feel like being creative or whatever. And so I had felt that way for a number of months. And then Aiden and I spent the day together that day, April 30th. And then the next day was May. And I had this 4 foot by 8 foot panel, and I had never painted a giant painting before, but that next day after spending the day with my grandson, I just started painting, and I created what I call my masterpiece. And it's 4 foot by 8 foot, and it's called In the Beginning. And it's got my grandson in the corner, and it just builds and builds and builds and builds. And it's got the ceremonial dance and the fire and my grandparents' quilt, and it's got so many things, corn, the tobacco that I grow. It's got everything in there. And so that was like my miracle painting, because I think because my grandson helped give me the power to create, just because there we worked together. And I even wrote a little book, not particularly about that painting, but about him. And I called it 4-Year-Old Artist, because he's a good artist too, but he gave up art at 4 years old. And I'm hoping he'll go back to it. I think he will. He's been being caught drawing here lately, so he's very creative.
Well,
so he was my inspiration.
oh, that is so beautiful that you get your inspiration from a little ancient soul with lots of bloodline running back. How many generations of all your whole mix of indigeneity? That's amazing. So, congratulations on the short film that was done in your life called Tiger, and I understand that the film was highly acclaimed at the Sundance Film Festival. Big congratulations. Everyone keep your eye out for the short film called Tiger. Dana, I know that you have Parkinson's and have had it for a long time. And before that, you were an artist, and you've continued to be an artist. Can you talk about the storyline of the film and the evolution of the film, and educate us a little bit about Parkinson's as well, and how you manage that with your life and your art?
Well, I remember getting Parkinson's, but I didn't know it was Parkinson's back when my son was 6 months old, or three or 6 months old. I was at a show in Arkansas. Dear friends of mine who gave me some of my first exhibits, called Veen's Place, and Uncle would go there, and we'd all go there. And I was carrying my son across their garden, and I noticed my leg was dragging or something like that. And so that was 95. And so it wasn't until 4 years later, like 1999, when Wilma Mankiller had told me that I needed to go get checked out, see what was the matter with me. Because I had just been kind of suffering with, or whatever, this unknown weirdness about my body. People would ask me, were you in a car wreck, or did you have a stroke? And I was trying to be normal as possible, but I wasn't. Something was the matter. So when Wilma said that I should go get tested or see what's the matter, then I found out it was Parkinson's. And then my sister had the same symptoms, and so we both had Parkinson's at the same time. We're long-term survivors of this Parkinson's, and do it's hard. It's harder sometimes. It depends on this and that. Nobody knows really how to cure it. Nobody knows why you get it. But we take medicine every day and try to eat certain things or not eat certain things, and we suffer when we do. And it's just a thing where you got to figure out what's best for yourself. And so, it's hard, because sometimes during the day, I just have, you just have to go sit down when you can't do what you want to do. I'll be really vigorously working, or cleaning up something, or doing, growing things, or yard work, or whatever. And then it hits you. and then you just have to go, you have to go lay down and wait for your medicines to kick in again. And so, but the movie wasn't about that. The tiger movie was actually, it was, I consider it like a prayer answered, because, it's rough taking care of everything. I've got, we've got to I feel we have to lay the groundwork so our people coming after us can pick it up and take it forward for the benefit of all. So, I worry about not being able to, just worry, because it's there's so much you have to take care of. There's so much that mom and dad left us and my uncle to take care of, and it can benefit all of us, and so that's a big responsibility for everyone. And so I just kind of thought, well, I won't get into that, but anyway, I met this person who was working on Sterling Harjo's film, his Reservation Dogs, and he had told her he wanted me in one of his episodes. And so she was casting director, Lauren Waters, and she came to the gallery and helped me clean up the gallery for something that I was, a little event that I was going to have there. I didn't even know her, and she came and helped me clean up the gallery. And that day was like, I don't know, it was a magical day because people from all over the place came in that one day where nobody had come in for weeks and days and months. But that day, like, old friends came in, and it was just bustling like it had been when mom was alive, and when the whole family was there working together. And so that's like the starting point of mine and Lauren's journey together. And she came, and her significant other, Robert Hunter, came to film at the gallery because they had this really expensive camera pack that they said, well, we need to do something with it. Let's go film Dana. So they came to film to the gallery, and that was the first day in 30 years or something that we were doing tiger t-shirts again, because I was trying to bring that back, because that was a thriving business that mom and uncle had created back in the 80s, and my sister Lisa and my brother Chris and all these Mvskoke people, not Mvskoke tribe, but people who lived in Mvskoke worked at the gallery, and it was a crazy, vibrant, bustling place, and everybody had fun, and we created these beautiful shirts on hand silk screen shirts. And then it just ceased to be when our brother Chris was killed in 1990. And so after that, things just went a different way. We kind of had to disperse and, I don't know, suffer. And so after all these years, due to my husband and my son and my daughter and everybody's effort, that day that they brought that film packet in, the camera, we were silk screening for the first time in 30 years. So that was like, magic there too. So that's what the film is, and it's just keep on keeping on kind of thing, and good things come your way if you keep a good mind and try to, and have a lot of help. Everybody comes together and spurs you on and helps you to do these things. So it's not just me, it's everybody.
Right. And Lisa was telling me about that house that you're in, and she said that house is pretty big with lots of bedrooms, and you said 30 acres and a gallery 5 miles away. I mean, that's a lot. Even a half an acre is a lot of responsibility. So I can't even imagine what that must be like. So thank you for sharing that with us. And again, congratulations And so the next question I have for you is, I know you were carted off to Colorado to the Sundance Film Festival with your beautiful sister, Lisa, my greatest inspiration on or Utah, my greatest inspiration on planet Earth. Lisa is medicine to me, really. She's been really good for me as a friend. Um, how did it feel like to be like a movie star for the weekend amongst all these other amazing dignitaries that are doing great work for us to watch?
Well, I love being a movie star. And actually, I wasn't looking. I mean, I was looking for other movie stars, but we were having so much fun just being together and going around being laughing and enjoying each other, that we really didn't pay much attention to. If there were other movie stars, we didn't notice them because we were having such a good time ourselves, and we're quite the bunch, And so wherever we go, we think we're having the most fun that can be had anyway. So it was fabulous, though. It was. We have some stories, and we'll never be able to tell some of those stories, but they were funny.
Can you tell us one that you're able to tell?
No. I probably can't. Oh yeah, I can. We made it. Claudia, we call it, the one who makes you look good by dressing you up, and what do you call that? It's
Kind of like a PR person or a makeup
not the PR
designer,
person,
or
the designer, the one who
help
makes you
us out.
look good.
Oh, we got it. Veronica said stylist, a stylist.
Stylist, yeah. Well, she got
Thank you,
out.
Veronica.
She made a snow angel right in the snow, and for Parkinson's. Yes, that was a really great thing at our Airbnb. So snow was this deep, this deep. So she went out the back door and jumped into the snow half naked, almost naked, and did the snow angel for Lisa's campaign to get awareness about Parkinson's, so we can have some Parkinson's relief. So we really appreciated that. That's one little story. And then Lisa told Lauren that the beautiful cookies that she had bought for everybody at the Airbnb, that she told them that she and her sister ate them all, and that made Lauren mad, but Lisa was lying. She didn't eat them all. And I didn't eat any because I had given up sugar that weekend. So,
Good for you. That's a tough one, because I know
that is a
sugar,
tough one.
sugar doesn't work well for Lisa at all. So, but I know me and Lisa have had our sugar runs together, haven't we, Lisa? We can talk about that later. Um, can you tell us about the resilience of the Tiger Art Gallery? Because I know your family started all this, and it kind of went down and stopped functioning for a while, but it's come back. How did that happen, and how does that feel to like it's back up and thriving for your future unborns?
Well, it's a work in progress, because it was going so great when Mom was alive and everybody was healthy and working together down there. And then when the worst thing in the world happens, then it just made everything go away for us. We had to go do other things. And so that's what, I moved away, which I didn't move away too far, just 30 miles down the road to Tahlequah. But that's, I was a homebody, mama's girl. And Lisa and Mom, we all lived in this big house. And I guess I had to go away. And things happen to help you deal with what's going to happen, And so I went over there to try to see if I could be a person on my own, And so I lived out in the woods for about a year by myself, and that's when Chris was taken from us. And if I hadn't have done that, I'm sure it would have killed me, losing Chris like that. But this film and the way people are coming together now, you know, and it's going to promote good things at the gallery because, you know, there's a new generation coming up, you know, and that's what it's all about. Because, you know, Lisa's got her children, and I've got my children, and we've got little Aiden Jerome, the little grandson, and you know, it's a pleasure once again, you know, like it used to be, for me to have everybody with me and everybody working for the goal to keep this gallery going because, you know, we have programs there. My son has taught sculpture, you know, we've had basket making, we've had, you know, bow making. We've done all these different things because we want to teach our young people that, you know, our culture is vibrant and beautiful and wonderful, and you can be cultural and even take care of yourself and support yourself, you know, if you really, if that's your path, you know, because that's the way, I've tried working for other people and it didn't work out so good. So I had to be my own boss. I just had to because
Good on you.
yeah, that's just the way it had to be.
So hopefully tonight you make at least 40 art sales at a minimum. And then once you go on to the Indigenous Ways website and people can watch your show in the future, more sales. But what is the easiest, quickest possible way to grab one of those beautiful shirts that you have? And do you have like hoodie kinds and long sleeve kinds and t-shirts and tank tops? And do you have like sweatpants or, I mean, do you have like
No,
prints?
yeah, we have prints and we have hoodies and all that, but this one particular one that I've got on, we only have short sleeve t-shirts in this one at this time. But on the hoodies of my uncle's designs that we're bringing back from the 80s, we can get hoodies or short sleeve or tank top or whatever you want and something like that. We've got a certain amount of them up on our website, tigerartgallery.com, and then there's this other one through Square that if you go on Facebook to the Tiger Art page, it's just Tiger Art. There's a link that you can go and see a lot of stuff, but we're still fine tuning because even though I've been an artist for how many years? Dadgummit, over 30 years, I'm still trying to fine tune. You know,
Isn't that the case though? I mean, we just continue learning and continue evolving as we get older. We kind of see out of these kind of like, I think we go from like land dwelling sea creatures, four-leggeds, and then we've suddenly become winged ones. And next thing you know, we're kind of looking at everything from more of an aerial vision from all the wisdom we've gathered. And I absolutely love your artwork. I love your like purplish hues and what you do with your paint colors. Just I want to get a whole bunch of your artwork, so I want to give them all as gifts. So I'll definitely be looking into your website to be ordering a whole bunch of stuff. And I really prefer to order directly from you. So I don't like going through like third parties and all this kind of stuff because I kind of like to just deal with the artist myself. So you will definitely be getting an order from me, if not tonight, by tomorrow. So thank you for that. So I guess that's in a nutshell how your beautiful father and mother really impacted your life. I mean, I'd like to hear more about your grandparents and their stories because it sounds like you have such a wealth of tribal affiliations running not only through your blood but also in your memory bank. And I also wanted to also do a plug that I understand you're doing artwork for Joy Harjo. Can you talk about that collaboration? We have had her on our show as well.
oh my gosh, yes, that was so fantastic. That they asked me to be the artist for her poem, "Washing My Mother's Body," and that, oh, it was just, I don't know, I was so thrilled to be asked, and then I knew that it was going to be a horrendous undertaking, so I did what I had to do to prepare, and I made my prayers, and and embarked on painting 33 paintings for her book. And then one big, well, it isn't big, but it has so much in it. It's about this size, 13 by 19 or so, but it is, oh, I'll get the book and show you.
Yes, please. And grab your dad's book too.
I don't know where Dad's book is right now. But this is the Joy Harjo book. This is the painting.
See, look at those colors. Wow. Can you bring it up close?
Can
you bring it up close?
That's the full painting. And look at all the things that are in there. Everything.
Is that watercolor? Is that watercolor?
Yes, it is. Yes.
So that's like, is that like all symbology from your visions and dreams?
Yes, it's what I've lived, what I visioned, what I dreamed, and what actually happened. And it is effing amazing.
Do you look at Joy's poem and attempt to understand it? Because sometimes I read her poetry and man, it's deep. Do you read the poem and then create the painting?
Yeah, I had to. I had, I had to I read it and I had to section it off in my mind and on paper. And it was a whole process, a whole prayer that lasted for 2 years. And, because I started in May and I ended up in May. That May month is just, her birthday is on May 9th. That's the day that my brother was killed, May 9th. So it all has meaning and it all ties in together. And it's all our lives, it's what we've endured and what we live through and what we still try to go for the future, because we have people we have to take care of and that rely on us and that eventually we'll have to, want them to be loving and take care of things themselves, and know how to do that. So that's what this was. Joy, not being able to take care of her mother when she died the way she wanted to. So she went back in a dream, a poem, and did it. And so it's about her and her mother, me and my mother, it's about all our mothers.
Yeah, my mom's here tonight. She's on the show in Chinle, Arizona. Her name's Kathy. Say hi to Kathy. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Kathy. Hi, Kathy.
Wow, that's so beautiful. And, Joy Harjo is an amazing icon for Indigenous, for women, someone that started the poetry movement when there was no poetry movement, almost like, certainly in Indian world. And I remember when she came and performed at the Indigenous Ways Festival in 2023, our beautiful brother here, Cress, our interpreter here tonight, was one of her interpreters. I asked him personally, I said, Cress, I want you to interpret Joy's set.
Mm-hmm.
So Cress got the lyrics and had to, and it was just amazing to see her out there with her saxophone and her very special hand-picked band, and Cress right beside her doing everything in sign language. It was just the most beautiful show ever. So we actually have a film of it. If we got a video, if you want us to share it with you, we can do that. So I know we're running out of time here and we got lots of questions to answer and lots of people that want to come on and tell you how much they love you. So I better shush up. I got more questions, but we better just kind of wrap it up here. Dana, as much as I want to keep going. Last question though. Our theme this year is family, and in our language, we all have a different word for that. Like in Navajo, it's ke, and in Maori, it's whānau, and in Samoan, it's aiga, and in English, it's family. And what does family mean to you?
Well, I looked it up in my language, and I use it in my prayer. I've added it to my prayer because I try to pray in my language, each time I pray. And it's Omogat Mvskoke, and that means all my relations. So I know that I've heard other tribal people in their prayers with all my relations, and that's your world and who you surround yourself with to who love you, people who love you. They might be blood relatives, they might not, and a lot of times they're not. But we can love each other and support each other. And I pray for all my relations because everybody needs that prayer, needs that belief in them, need to believe in themselves. And through that genuine, strong prayer, that's how I found my way. And so I know that my prayers are strong. So if I can pray for all my relations, then everybody does well. We all do well. And I do, I'm blessed that way. So
You and your family are just so beautiful, all of you. I'm going to thank you for your time and pass it on to our beautiful Elena, who is going to finish off the show before we invite the beautiful guests in, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Thanks, Tash. And thank you so much, Dana. I think you put it brilliantly. And I'll just say this. You are effing amazing. And so much so, look, Snap, got the shirt on. Thank you so much, so much. So what I'm going to do now, because I know people are absolutely busting to get on, asking you questions, just checking in, and things like that. So this is the part where I get to share of what's going on, and thanking everyone, especially you, Dana, for blessing us, the inspiration with your art, who you are, and all that you do. So next month, mark your calendars, April the 16th, we've got the beautiful Montana Miller who will be blessing us. He is Danae, also a student from IAIA, and a storyteller, actor, director. He will be blessing us in the story next month. I'm going to talk a little bit more about them. I know Montana is on, so welcome. So please, we love to see you. All of these series, all of the programs we do are free, simply because we want to make sure everyone can access them, which is really important for us. So if you want to access the beautiful Dana's recording, that's going to be available in the next 48 hours on our website, IndigenousWays.org. There you'll find in our library, our video library, over 200 presenters. We started this series on the 1st of April 2020 when COVID hit. Remember that? And we needed to connect our communities. So we had the virtual events with a concert series and Wisdom Circle doing 2 every week. So there you'll find this extraordinary library of Native American, Indigenous, our rainbow presenters, as well as deaf and hard of hearing presenters in that archive. And you'll see Dana's archive there too, which you can share with your wonderful peeps. Zapping along the bottom here, or our social media handles. If you're in one of them, we would love you to subscribe or share our pages. You can also go up to our website and get into our newsletter so you know what's coming or who's going on or what's happening. We send out once a month. All of these series, particularly our Wisdom Circle, we have a lot of gratitude to our sponsors making it available so we can have our ASL interpreters, making access available for all. Also having our extraordinary presenter such as Dana. So I want to give a big shout out to the City of Santa Fe Arts and Culture Department, as well as the National Endowment for the Arts and the New Mexico Music Commission, who have made this possible. I also want to give a shout out to, if you're on a computer and you've got your phone, you can do that URL. If you're in Santa Fe next Thursday, Tash and I are going to be presenting our Indigenous Ways documentary. It's an ASL. We will also have Mariah, who's on the screen, interpreting a Q&A. So we'll be showing that. And that's happening at the main library here in Santa Fe, New Mexico. if there's a lot of people online who are not in New Mexico, and we'll share more about that, or you can Google the Santa Fe Public Library and go to their calendar and find out that. So we're doing 2 showings because the first showing, the waiting list got booked out as well as the room. So we've still got some availability if you can make the earlier one. So I just wanted to do that. And then last year I don't know where we had gone. Dana, you don't know this. I don't know where we had gone with Lisa. And we also had Dr. Sheila Rocha, who is the Performing Arts Director Chair at the Institute of American Indian Arts. We'd gone somewhere and we came back to your sister's place, Lisa, and she goes, "Oh, I really want to show you something," which happened to be your documentary. It just dropped. She got a viewing of it. And anyway, we got to watch it and we're like, "Oh, we need to really show that. What can we do?" And then when I met with Sheila earlier this year, she was like, "Oh, we'd really like to do a film festival." So we're doing an Indigenous Ways Film Festival. So please mark your calendars, May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, which is happening in collaboration with IAIA, happening on their campus. We've got this really amazing planning team of IAIA students and performing arts faculty, which has been a lot of fun. And so we're doing Q&A, panels, workshops, all of that will be happening. You can go to our website and find out more about that. If you're in Santa Fe, you can do the QR code that you can see in front of you, which will give you more information. The schedules will be going up. Very exciting time. The sad news is, with all of this, we found out, and it's not sad really, it means that we get to do another film festival to make sure the Tiger documentary goes into it. We were excited to show the Tiger documentary, but what's happening is the Santa Fe International Film Festival are showing this in Santa Fe in October because the director wants it to go and be submitted for the Oscars. So we weren't able to show that, but we've got this amazing cohort of featured student documentaries, a big spotlight for students and Indigenous women filmmakers, which is really wonderful. But Dana, saying that, we're still going to have you here. We're trying to get Dana here next week, and it's next week, the week after. Anyway, if you're able to donate, here are all our Venmo, our electronics or snail mail. Only if you're able to. Go to our website, as I said before. And then saying that, I'm going to open up the channels now. I know there's a lot of people who want to come in. There's also a couple of questions, Taj, in the chat while people are kind of being unshy and deciding whether or not they want to come in or not. To do, we've got about 6 minutes.
Okay. So in your country, do you say "gadio" or "gotcha"? Okay. Thank you, Elena, for that. And "gadio." I'm going to start with Montana Miller. Yeah, Montana to Dana. How long did it take to complete the paintings? And were you given a time frame to complete them?
If you're talking about Joy Harjo's, I was given a time frame, but we had to take a little bit longer. Yeah, but it all went just the way it was supposed to. So I was able to do everything I needed to do just in time, and the book will be coming out April 1st, full force. And then other paintings that I talked about, the one that I did after my grandson helped me, I did it through the month of May. It took me the month of May to do.
So great. Hey, because we've got a lot of people in a short amount of time, if you want to ask a question, just wave. Otherwise, Tasha's going to pick you randomly. Or if you've got a little hand, just let her know. Otherwise, you're going to be lucky. She's just going to pick you. But thanks, everyone, for popping on.
Lisa Tiger. Hey, Lisa. Unmute, please. Oh, we can't hear you, Lisa. Sorry. Your mute's on.
Isn't my wonderful sister fabulous?
Beyond.
Yes.
Yeah, if it weren't for my sister, I would not be able to live in this world. I mean, I mean, we're such a close family. We've always been such a close family. And if it weren't for her, I could not do life. I mean, if she didn't have Parkinson's with me, I couldn't do Parkinson's alone. And I couldn't live my life without my sister. I love her so much, and she just goes out there and does what needs to be done. And me, I like to stay home until I know that I don't know. Dana's just a powerhouse, and I just love her so much.
I like to stay home too.
Thanks so much, Lisa. It's great to see you. Welcome home, Cricket. I know you're in the car. It's great to have you all here. Sarah, I'm going to go to you because I know you've got
Where'd she go?
a question.
Hey, well, yeah, after Sarah, let's go to Lauren. After Sarah, let's go to Lauren Waters, the director.
Oh, Lauren!
Say hi to her.
Lauren! All right, Sarah.
Yeah, I was just wondering, your family is clearly so important to you and you're so close with them. Does your family often inspire the figures that are in your paintings?
Yes, I painted my sister many times, and even if it's not my sister's spirit and strength, because I get a lot of that from my sister. Because without her support, who would I be? Nobody. And and then I painted my mother, because she was the strongest woman that I knew, and then I've just, women just inspire and empower me, And that's what I want to paint. I want to paint that power because I love looking at it.
Yeah, absolutely. We got time for one more. We're going to give it to Miss Lauren Waters. Lauren, welcome for coming to our show. Thank you very much.
And also, Lauren picked up
the Tiger family.
An award from Sundance. So congratulations for the directorship with Tiger.
Oh, thank you guys so much. And I was just able to join just a few minutes ago, and it's so awesome to see Dana, being featured. And Lisa, hi, so good to see you. And I just love hearing Dana talk about her work. And that was the whole, reason why I made a film with her and about her and her family. And she deeply inspires me. And I never had seen, art like hers. And I actually have some on my wall. I can show you guys. Here.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, it's a little blurry, but I had this one.
Oh, okay.
And then let me see. I'm gonna try
I painted her.
Oh.
This one's Dana's.
Oh,
my
wow.
This one's Dana's. So beautiful. It's our stomp dance ceremony.
Oh, that's exquisite.
Those are the two that I have.
I can't wait.
Yeah, but thank you guys for hosting this, and just awesome to see you all in conversation together.
We hope to be able to get your film for our next film festival, creator willing that we are able to have it again. So if you're in Santa Fe, stop in May 2nd and 3rd and 4th to IAIA. We'll be showing a bunch of Indigenous films.
So exciting and so important. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. And thank you, everyone. On that gorgeous note, I just want to give a big shout out to each and every one of you, whether you're in our current now or in the future, watching this extraordinary Q&A with the beautiful Dana Tiger. Big shout out to our beautiful interpreters tonight, Mariah Garcia, also Crescesiano Garcia. We'll look forward to seeing you next month, same time, same channel, which is April the 16th, with the beautiful Montana Miller, who's also got a short film in our film festival in May. But please, let's give it up for the one and only, the beautiful Dana
Powerhouse.
Tiger.
Powerhouse. Love you, Dana, and the Tiger family, and Lauren.
Let's hear your new song.